I won't hold it against you. Where most of you guys go wrong when you cut these things is you go like this. You go. And then you end up with this, where you're... Okay, just as a random thing with knives of any type, if you're having to exert pressure, your blade isn't sharp enough. Whether you're a cook, or whether you're a draftsmanship guy, basically if you're having to struggle like that, your blade needs changing or sharpening. Now I'm going to use a lot less effort than you guys did, and I'm going to get a really nice clean cut. Okay, here's how I'm going to do it. Watch. The first time through, I'm just going to make a groove. Okay, everybody look. Watch my arm. I'm just going like this. No pressure. It's like I'm going like this. Okay, imagine you're petting a dog or a cat, and the cat's might scratch you. So just use gentle pressure. Now watch. I'm using gentle pressure. And I keep doing this until it falls off.
Oh, so it's like perforated paper.
What?
It's like perforated paper. If you're trying to rip off the edge, you fold it back and forth until it just comes off.
So you guys see how clean that is? Oh. But this is actually, I happen to know these rulers are 1 inch wide, so I can just go like this, make a very light pencil line. Okay. I can line that up. Make sure that I have enough board around here. Okay. Actually, I'm going to crudely cut this the way I actually would if I were doing this. Just so it's easier to handle. So, I have the board, I have enough space. Okay, imagine this is black cover stock. I'm going to crease it before I use any rubber cement. So I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to kind of go, okay, pull it a little bit like that, get a little bit of a crease, and then fold it over so I get kind of a double crease to account for the thickness of the board. Okay, I'm going to pull this away. All right, now I'm going to take the rubber cement. Now, ideally, you'd want a squeegee for this. If my old teacher would scream at me if he saw me using this, but these do work. If you have a squeegee, it's even better. You take a little bit of rubber cement. Oh, so here's the thing. Rubber cement is a pain in the neck sometimes because it's messy. All right? Here's how to make it not be messy. So you basically put some rubber cement along this edge. Make sure there's enough. And then you take this. And so what you have is you have a thin layer of rubber cement that has instantly dried. I can go like this, and it's not quite dry, but it's very close to dry. It usually instantly dries. And then you take a little bit more rubber cement, and you go like this. You brush some on there, and then you go like so. On the back of this. Okay. Now, one thing I would do, take a piece, when you go to do your presentation for your projects, take a sheet of your drawing pad, that 11 by 14 drawing pad, or a larger one if you need the extra space. Flip to a fresh sheet, use that as the sheet, then you can just rip it off and throw it away. You see what I mean? It's because you don't want to use newspaper because there's newspaper ink. You see what I mean? And make sure your surface is clean. Nothing is more irritating than doing a nice rendering, laying it down on a dirty surface, and then going, ah! Because your roommate had put a donut there or something, or, that's really annoying. Oh, and by the way, so once this, this will dry pretty quickly, and then you can just roll it up. So I've got these two sheets. I go like this. I line it up where my crease was. I pull it over. Everyone watch this. Okay, so you go like that. Make sure your fingertips are clean. Take the triangle. Actually, before I even get into that, I'm going to do this first. Okay.
The rubber cement eraser.
Oh, if you got it. Yeah, that'd be great. The rubber cement eraser, the reason you guys get it is because this is clean. This is basically dried rubber cement. And if I go like this, it allows me to pick up the rubber cement. If next week you guys have rubber cement.
No, you didn't come.
It didn't? Okay. Now it is on the supply list, right?
I don't know. I have issues because I have one from like past school and then one that I got with my kid.
Okay, well here's what you can do. If you don't have it, it's okay. Because you can always use your finger once it dries and just start rolling it up. And just imagine you're rolling up a booger. Just kidding. But eventually you'll end up with what looks like a giant booger. And I've got one that is about this big that's from 4 years of art school. It's kind of funny, actually. I like it. So what is it? It's a booger. But yeah, and so you can... Whoops. Definitely use it to clean your tool. And then when you finish, you can just kind of pull that little bit off, and see, you got a booger.
Is it just like a sponge? Or
Yeah, try
I
it.
don't know.
If you go to like any arts,
They're cheap. They're like,
Yeah.
I may not have put them on the supply. I may not have even put them on the supply list because you can take your, here's one. Start using it, and pretty soon it grows, and next thing you know, you've got a rubber cement pickup. So they never used to have us buy them when we were in school, but they are kind of nice from a cleanliness standpoint. Anyway, so you've got this. It's nice and tight. Take your 45-degree triangle. I'm going to quickly use this one. Now, when you do this, do it carefully, and try to do the cut so you're not getting into the board and you're going over the corner of the board, so that it turns over nicely. You don't want it to catch on the end there. You want to cut away from the back, like I just did there. And then, so you'll notice I've got these scores. Now watch what happens. When I use the paper, I can peel that off. Let's make sure that I cut it. Yeah, I can watch this. It peels up real nice. Peels up real nice. I can cut those off. Oh, actually, I don't even need to cut those off, because what's going to happen next is I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to clean up these edges by cutting around the board a few more times. So leave this unflapped, or leave this flap long like this until you go to cut the board. Like have the board cut a little bit long. Actually, the bottom edge is good. I'm going to cut the bottom edge flush. Actually, let me do the other ones. It'll be better if I do the other ones first. Let me do these two first. So this one is a ragged edge, so I'm going to cut this one and trim the edge of the board at the same time. Again, I'm not using much pressure. I'm just... Actually, if there's any place where I've got pressure, it's my left hand holding the ruler. Do be careful with this. There's probably an average of about one X-Acto knife accident a year. And there's no need for any X-Acto knife accidents.
So when we cut our boards, you want us to come like just maybe a 16th or a quarter
No,
inch?
that's what I realized